everybody, welcome to Healthy Lifestyle. As usual, I'm Temitope Fesobi. Today I'm going to be talking to us about red meat and meat generally. Yes, we've heard so many things about meat causing so many things, diseases and everything. Is this really true? Should we be afraid of eating meat, or we should go ahead and continue to take our meat? At the end of the discussion, at the end of the gist, you'll choose which one you prefer. Yes, meat is very rich in nutrition and so many other things. And there are different types of meat actually. There's white meat. White meat is fish, chicken, any meat that after cooking or even before cooking it looks white. That's white meat. Red meat is any meat that is red before cooking and after cooking. We also have grass-fed meat, organic meat, grass-fed organic meat. All these are meats that is gotten from animals that are fed with grasses and the likes. Also, we have processed meats. Processed meat are the meat that is processed with one thing or the other, and they are made into sausages, bacon, and so on. So today we'll talk about the red meat. Red meat has a lot of nutritional values. To be candid, it has a lot of nutritional values that is very good. It makes it to be very good for the health. However, studies have shown that red meat is associated with different diseases, chronic diseases. The reason why I started studying about red meat and I want to know everything about red meat is simply because I have lost a beloved person, and they said the person ate too much of meat, so it had a lot of fat clogged in their heart, and it made the person to have flattened heart, and they had to do a surgery, and the person was like, he doesn't want any surgery, she would rather die than change her heart. Well, that's pathetic actually, but it was very painful. So it made me to start studying, and then I noticed that when I eat red meat, after eating it for 2 days, I may not be able to eat anything. If I eat any other thing, I'll have constipation because my tummy will just be hard and I could not. But later the doctor said I was not able to digest the meat easily. It doesn't digest fast in my system. So it's either I reduce it or I stop it. So I had to pick the option of stopping it because I'm like, something that does not digest fast. So why should I be eating it? I need something that will digest fast and make me to go to toilet fast, and things are done like that. So that's why I started studying about the meat. And one beautiful thing happened when I got to the institution and I was my final year in school at Tech then. And a friend of mine was given a project to study about red meat. So it's, I was so excited about the study that I helped her. In fact, I was like, well, this one, I must help you. And at the end of the study, we found out that there are lots of organisms in the meat that is found in the open market. The meat that is found in the open market, from the abattoir the organism is not so much. Then from handling, taking it from one place to another, transportation and all those stuff, it makes it to be more deadly organism, cling on the meat, and it's not easy. Some of the organisms that we found on the meat, we found out that by the time they're exposed to it, that's eye eat, by the time they're exposed to eye eat, what happens? They release a toxin before they die, which makes the meat even more toxic than when the organism itself is there. There's some microorganisms like that when you want to kill them, you will put them under eye heat. They will die. Yes, they will die. But before they die, they will have released some organisms, some toxics rather, into the food or whatever you are trying to kill them from. So we realized that one is there. Another thing that we found out, before I start talking about the study that other people has done, that buttress the fact that there's a lot of deadly things in meat that can make it to be associated to chronic diseases, was that the preparation. We had to cook some we roasted, some we did all different things, roasted, fried, and all those things. Do you know that the ones that were just boiled, or the one that is boiled or stewed, they are not fried, they were not exposed to too high heat, they were a bit healthier than the one that was exposed to very high heat. Why? During the research and then the other researches that other people did that I read, I found out that when meats are released, are exposed to high heat, what happens? They form some chemicals, and the chemicals they form are the same chemicals that causes cancer in human being or any other animals, which makes some of the mice that we used for the test, some of them were sick. Though we didn't go further, because that wasn't what the testing was about. It was not about for us to check what kind of disease or everything. We're just like, okay, it was sick, all right. This one was obese. Those chemicals can make us to be obese, can make us to have cancer, and the chemicals are very, very toxic to the health. We say, our parents, our forefathers, they've been eating meat, they've been doing this before, and nothing happened to them. Studies show that the meat that they were eating before is different from the meat we are eating now. The meat they ate at that time, they go about grazing. They walk miles to get their food. But now what do? We engage them and give them whatever we want to give them. And at the end of the day, the kind of food we are even giving them is making them to be more toxic than normal. And then the way we prepare them even makes them to be worse. Because when you want to eat meat, you will cook it. Some people will even use pressure pots, subjecting it to a very high heat, which it doesn't need. So when you subject it to a very high heat, then you take it again, you now fry it. Say it's very delicious when it's fried. Yes, it tastes delicious. But what about your health? It tastes delicious, but it's killing us gradually. And it's causing a lot of fats to be clogged into our heart. There's a particular research that was done that was found out that processed meats caused diabetes, a lot of heart diseases, and so many other things like that. So when you want to eat your meat, you don't need to over process it. You can just stew it and eat it like that. Some of the chemicals that are released when we process our meat, when we subject meat to a very high temperature, are heterocyclic anamine, that's AHS, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHS. I know you don't know all that one. That was grammar. It's too much of grammar for us, but we need to know all those things. Then advanced glyceride end products. Those are the things that are released. And these things are the ones that are causing problems. And meat has been found to raise the risk of cancer. So the best is for us to just please step back from it. Actually, if you really want to eat your meat, I'm not saying don't eat meat. I'm just trying to make us to understand that there are some hazard to eating meat. And if you want to eat meat, then you need to prepare it properly. So how do you prepare your meat properly so that you will get the benefits from it? I don't eat meat because I don't digest it fast, and I eat when I finish eating. I can't eat anything until the next day because the food inside my tummy is not digested. I don't have big body, so I must be able to eat at least 3 times in a day. So because of that, I had to eliminate meat. That's for me. You have a different body from mine. You have a different metabolism from mine. But the thing is, the way you process your meat can either make you or mar you. So, to eat your meat, and you want to eat it and enjoy it well. 1, don't overcook your meat. Give it a gentle cooking, like just stewing it or just boiling it with low heat. Let it, like you're doing a slow cooking, a gentle heat. Don't expose it to too much of heat. Then minimize cooking. Number 2, minimize cooking at high temperature. Never expose your meat to flames. People that love suya, roasted barbecue, please reduce it or stop it completely, because those are the things that are really causing the problems for us. When we allow our meat to be exposed to flames and too much of heat, a very high heat, then don't eat charred or smoked food. That's meat. If your meat is burnt, please discard it. There's no need for you to eat burnt meat or charred meat because it's not good for your health. Instead of it to help you, it will only destroy your system and make you to have cancer or make you to have some other diseases. Number 4, you can marinate your meat in garlic, red wine, lemon, as in lemon juice, or olive oil. Marinating your meat before you cook it is another way of making your meat healthier. So don't just cook it like that. For the chemicals to be reduced when you are cooking it, marinate it. And I know that most of us in this part of the world, we don't really know about marinating our meat with lemon, red wine, or garlic. Marinating is simply, you grate your garlic, After adding your salt to your meat, you add the grated garlic, and just as if you are massaging something, you will massage it and rub it on it and let it enter into the meat. Then you leave it for a while before boiling or stewing. Avoid boiling then frying, and avoid frying your meat all the time because of your health. It's healthier and it's safer to eat meat that is not fried or roasted. It's better to eat meat that is just stewed or boiled. Thank you. I hope I have helped us a little, especially those of us that like meat, so that we will not be eating it in the wrong way. We don't need to be sick. We need to be healthy. And we need our immunity to be strong. So once you find out that meat is not very good for you, the best is for you to discard it and stop eating it. But if you find out that you must eat meat, by all means, then marinate it. And don't overcook your meat. Don't expose your meat to a very high heat. Let it be like that. Although, because of the climate, and me, I'm an environmentalist, I would say don't eat meat again. But that's me. Thank you. Till we meet next time. Stay healthy, live healthy, eat healthy, and be healthy. Bye.